I am a youth fellow with the Center for Media Technology and Democracy, and we as youth fellows have been reflecting on 2024 and what we're looking forward to seeing happen in 2025 in the online harm space. Looking back to 2024, I was really pleased to see the conversation on online harms being brought to the forefront. We saw governments across the world legislate on online harms, and this is all due to the work of advocates who have been fighting this fight.
2024 was a big year for holding big tech accountable. We saw the Kids Online Safety Act in the United States context pass the Senate with remarkable margins. 91 positive votes out of 100 is a lot. We saw it pass through the House Energy and Commerce Committee. And while it didn't actually end up passing Congress, incredible things came from the advocacy measures to pass that bill. These companies, in attempting to avoid regulation, updated their platforms in ways that make them far more safe for teens. For example, Instagram Teens, the follower list and following list of young people is now private, and all accounts are private on Instagram by default, which will not only contribute to a greater sense of privacy for young people, but will also prevent them from being exploited because people can no longer see their follower list and threaten to send videos and images to this follower list. And they wouldn't have felt the pressure to do this unless we advocated for legislation and they felt like they were going to be regulated.
2024 was a year where the conversation around digital well-being and online harms became a mainstream issue. Around the world, teens, educators, and parents became a lot more aware of how online technology can impact young people today, sparking a global movement towards change. It was also a year of deepened self-awareness. I saw thousands of teens take the opportunity to shed their devices temporarily, to go out of their comfort zone and try new activities in their communities around them.
2025 in Canada started with a bang, a political bang that is, with the resignation of the Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party, and thus the proroguing of Parliament. And what this means for the online harms bill is that this bill essentially dies on the order paper. Now, although the bill didn't pass, we need to make it clear that these issues are still around. These issues need to be addressed,
especially with the opportunity to expand legislation to include the harms now faced by AI and the new agentic era.
Young people still need to be protected from online harms. They still need to feel safe online. This is a nonpartisan issue, and we have to keep these conversations going and keep the advocacy momentum up.
It's a discussion and a conversation that has to be had to safeguard and protect our youth online and get legislation and regulation passed that allows for this to be a priority of whoever ends up as our next leading party.
Going into 2025, I want to see governments continue to take this seriously, and I'm also looking forward to hopefully young people being centered in this conversation.
I envision young people having more autonomy and agency over the platforms that they use, giving more control over what features are and aren't in place on the platforms.
I think an important disclaimer to add there is a couple things that they will never change, and therefore we need regulation for, such as the way that algorithms utilize data to target people. That's their bread and butter. They're not going to change that without regulation. So regulation is still really important, but it's no reason that we can't celebrate the industry-wide changes. What I'm looking forward to in 2025 is continuing to carry that momentum and continue to, as a society, start to push towards having safer online platforms.
This year, I'm not only hoping for more comprehensive legislation to come out around protecting kids and teens online, but I'm also hoping for more comprehensive AI legislation, as well as privacy and safety concerns within platforms at large.
Looking forward to having the opportunity to continue to demand on behalf of the youth of Canada for real, meaningful legislation that protects us and makes us have every opportunity the generations before us had.